Millions of people sit down every day to a plate of roti, dal, rice, and sabzi. We are taught from childhood that this combination is the ultimate balanced meal, providing everything a human body needs to thrive. But eating that exact, repeated combination every day might be silently starving your body of the essential minerals it requires to function. The problem comes down to hidden mineral gaps. The physical presence of a vegetable or a lentil on your plate does not guarantee that those nutrients are actually making it into your bloodstream. Over time, these invisible dietary flaws trigger a cascade of creeping health issues, from chronic, unexplainable fatigue to the structural weakening of your bones. Relying on tradition alone isn't enough. We have to look closely at the chemical reality of what happens after that food leaves the plate and enters your digestive system. Let's start by looking at dal and leafy sabzi. You might look at these portions and assume you are getting plenty of dietary iron. The issue is a chemical limitation. Plant-based iron is what we call non-heme iron. As this animated diagram shows, non-heme iron is inherently difficult for the human digestive tract to process, often bouncing right off the digestive barrier instead of crossing into your system. Without enough iron successfully entering the bloodstream, your body cannot produce healthy red blood cells. This leads to anemia, a condition that literally starves your tissues of oxygen and causes severe, persistent lethargy. You can solve this by adding a chemical activator. Ascorbic acid, or vitamin C, found abundantly in a simple squeeze of lemon, will act as a chemical catalyst. It binds to the non-heme iron and easily pulls it across the digestive barrier, boosting your iron absorption by up to 400%. But there is a chemical blocker you must avoid. Calcium actively binds to iron in the digestive tract and blocks its absorption by up to 60%. That means drinking a glass of milk or eating a large bowl of plain curd of the exact same time as your iron-rich dal is actively canceling out the benefits. Iron levels on a plate are irrelevant if the body's chemistry prevents that iron from entering the bloodstream. Next, we have to audit the bone builders, calcium and phosphorus. These two minerals are the mandatory structural materials required to maintain human bones and teeth. A standard plate consisting entirely of roti, rice, and dal severely lacks these specific materials. Unless you are actively integrating dairy additions, like properly timed servings of curd or paneer, your daily intake is likely falling short. When a body goes through prolonged periods with a calcium deficit, it is forced to siphon the mineral directly from the skeleton, resulting in abnormally weak, brittle bones and rapid tooth decay. As seen in this medical photograph, the ultimate manifestation of this specific nutritional failure is a disease called rickets. The prolonged lack of bone-building minerals causes the skeletal architecture of the legs to soften and literally collapse under the child's own body weight. Relying strictly on grain and legume staples leaves the body's physical framework highly vulnerable without targeted dietary interventions. Beyond the skeleton, we find invisible deficits in trace minerals, starting with zinc. Zinc plays a non-negotiable role in maintaining a functional, strong immune system. Zinc presents a sourcing bottleneck. In nature, it is predominantly locked inside animal products, like oysters, meat, and liver, which leaves plant-heavy traditional diets highly vulnerable to a deficit. A drop in zinc levels triggers a cascading series of physical symptoms, including sudden hair loss, unusually slow wound healing, and a degraded sense of taste. The final hidden gap in the traditional thali is iodine, a crucial element required to regulate your thyroid hormones and control your resting metabolism. Natural vegetables and grains grown in many regions often lack iodine entirely. This makes the use of specifically iodized salt a strict medical requirement to prevent the thyroid gland from painfully enlarging into a goiter and to avoid severe fetal brain development issues during pregnancy. While a traditional diet efficiently provides calories and macronutrients, it frequently misses the microscopic trace elements that govern our immunity and hormonal balance. The underlying components of the traditional thali are in fact incredibly healthy. The ingredients themselves contain immense potential, provided the person eating them actively manages the chemistry of the plate. You can improve your nutrient uptake by pairing plant-based iron with activators like lemon juice, separating it from calcium, and ensuring your cooking utilizes iodized salt. We can contrast this nutrient-dense approach with the historical reality of populations who had no choice but to consume massive quantities of plain staples, often suffering from hidden starvation despite eating full meals every single day. Real nutritional value is dictated by the body's success at absorbing the minerals you consume. For more scientific breakdowns of the chemistry behind your meals, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next video.